Hello, on this video I'm going to show you how the FormValidator component works. For this I'm going to create a new form and I'm going to place the component here. This is a non-visual component that provides JavaScript validation over a form. There are a few properties and the main one is the rules property. Here is where you select which rules must follow your form to validate and to allow submit the values. So I'm going to create a simple form placing several fields here and some labels. Okay, so I'm going to name this as username. This is password, and this is, for example, role. I'm going to rename all these components at username, at password, and add role. And now I'm going to place a button here that is going to submit the information. Also, I'm going to save this, and when the button is clicked I'm going to dump to the output so you can see the values: username, password, and role. Okay, so first let's check how this works. If the user enters no information, this is what we get. Okay, but what we want to do is to provide a way for the user or for you to validate this form. For this we are going to create the rules that makes the validation. This is the first rule. We can name it as we want, and it's going to apply to the username component. That field is going to be required, and the minimum length is going to be 5, for example. And I'm going to, this is the message, minimum length for this field for username is 5. Okay, and now on the JavaScript event of the page I'm going to call the validation. That is by using JavaScript, and it's a procedure or a function called in the same way the component FormValidator 1 validate, and this is what I'm going to return as value for this event. So this is the value I'm going to return for this event. So if the validation is not the right one, it won't submit the form. Okay, so now I'm going to run again. If I press submit, this is what I get, because that is the minimum length, username. Okay, so now submitting works because the minimum length it's satisfied. I'm going to add a new rule, and this one is going to be the password is going to be, I'm going to validation type. For example, I'm going to use, this is only a sample, I'm going to require the password to be an email. Okay, so add the rule, run. Now I get the first rule to be satisfied, and now the second rule I need to place a proper message other than the default one. Please enter an email on the password field. Run again. Satisfy the first rule. Enter an email. If I enter something, okay, it still doesn't validate as email. So I'm going to add it, and now the validation takes place and it works as it should. Okay, so as you can see, if you develop a, let's say for example, a contact form with some fields that you require to be filled, you see that you can specify a lot of things for validation, and there is a lot of things you can do with this component. There is a lot of options. Okay, but the key here is to call the validation on the submit for the page. So we perform the validation, and if that validation doesn't pass, then the form is not submitted. Okay, thank you.